Oof, hot. Let's check if we're live. We are. Hi everyone. I think YouTube's a little bit behind. There we go. So we are streaming on both Facebook and on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, you might find the picture a little bit better over on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube on your TV if you want to. What you'll find is that you can just join the live chat on YouTube. You can't do that on your telly, but you can sort of have your phone or your tablet running at the same time and comment on that. Obviously on Facebook you can see the comments anyway, and you can reply to people. You can't actually do that on YouTube, but you can join the live chat. So if you want to answer somebody, just say, you know, say their name and answer them or whatever. Right, so I'm faffing around here. I do have 6 potential demos that I can do for you. The question is, will I get through them all, or will I change my mind as I go? Which is always the thing. So I'm going to start at the top of my list. So I'm getting all my bits and pieces out, which is a bit boring for you to look at. So I need to tell you, if you're on Facebook, there is actually a Facebook group called Fairy Hugs Store that you can go and join, and then you'll see lots and lots of inspiration from the design team. And I don't want that one. And it's always a good idea to join that as well, because you'll see sneaky peeks beforehand, and you'll also see you'll also be able to share your work on there. And if people like what they see, then you might be asked to join the design team for months, and then you get free stuff, which is always good to have free stuff, isn't it? So that could be stamps and papers and stencils, or it could just be stamps, who knows. It'll be something rather wonderful anyway. So while I'm flicking through, remember that you can actually get all the products available on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and until midnight on Tuesday night, while stocks last, there is actually a 10% discount on the items that are on the Create and Craft shows tomorrow, and you just need to enter HUGS10 in the discount code box at checkout. So you go onto the website and you go to the As Seen on TV section, and pull up that, and you'll see all the products that are on the Create and Craft show. I keep on saying shows, there's only one show tomorrow. The shows are at 12 o'clock midday, and Leslie Lakin is actually doing the demos, so she's taken over from me, so we see how she goes. Right, so I'm just planning, yes, I think we'll use that one. Let's get rid of that. You must put that discount code in the box though, because you won't get your discount otherwise. And you'll see, before you pay, you'll see that discount code box pop up, and you'll see the amount you're paying come down. So if you don't see the amount come down, you haven't put it in the right place. I say this all the time, and some of you guys miss out. I don't like you to miss out. So who have we got? So we've got June and Ronnie on Facebook. Sharon, Christine, Anita, Caroline and Sue. Then over on YouTube we've got Kathleen, Edith, Alison. Morning Alison. Alison was one of the lucky customers who shared her work on the Fairy Hug Store group. Remember, we've got the Fairy Hug Store group on Facebook, and she got to be on the design team for a month, which was rather marvellous. And then the courier lost her samples on the way to the TV. Morning to Susan as well. So June's on both. And Celia as well. You absolutely have both. I mean, I'm obviously seeing your comments on both. So as I posted on Facebook, I've got, as I said earlier, I've got 6 possible demos that I'm going to share with you today. I think we've done all the admin kind of work. So let's crack on and let's start so we can at least get things going. Now don't forget that everything that you're watching will be available on YouTube. I think you used the discount box yesterday, June. I'm sure you did. Sorry. Yes. So it's on YouTube forever. So it's free on YouTube, and you can go and watch it and pause it and craft along and do whatever you want to do. So yeah, that'd be rather marvellous to have you joining on YouTube. And like I say, it's free. You just need to enter your email address, and then you'll be notified whenever there is a live. There's a lot of Fairy Hugs demos on there. There's a lot of Sentimentally Yours as well. I think they're neck and neck. Anywho, there's a lot on there. So I ought to tell you where this has come from. This has come from the Tumble Shine paper pad, which is the latest 4 pads. Not the 2 new ones, but the 4 before that are all on the show. Talking about the new paper pads, I've only got 1 left in stock of one of the designs. So I am ordering this week. So also to do with the stock as well on my website. I am out of stock of the poinsettias. There's been a bit of a run on those, as there is this time of year. But I am putting an order in either tomorrow or Tuesday. So by the end of the week, hopefully, fingers crossed, I should have some. So as long as there's stock at the Fairy Hug Store, anything that's out of stock, including the 2 new paper pads, I will order. And as long as they're in stock at HQ, I'll be able to get them. And just click on the email when available button on the particular product on the website, and you will get notified. So yes, Alison's saying on YouTube, remember Alison was a guest design team member in when we did the Flower Fairies. That was July. And Alison saying it was great. She's saying it's still good, Julia, because obviously she's referring to the fact that her samples got lost. She says, so please everyone share your makes in that group. It could be you next. So I'll just pop that up again, so jot it down. And don't forget, if you're watching this back, you can pause at any time and jot down bits and pieces. And I'm going to show you photos of previous samples as well. So again, you can pause those and take a screenshot if you want to, because these are best sellers. So all of these stamps have been on before at some point. So there are samples lying around, or there were. Some of mine have gone to charity already, and some of them are in my journal. So I've just taken kind of not screenshots, I've just taken photographs of them all, grabbed them all from the past. So this is the Daisies. Beautiful, beautiful stamp, it's that way. And it's one of the biggest stamps that Fairy Hugs do. Obviously we've got the Flower Fairy sets, and this is the same kind of size packaging as that. So this is 182 Daisies. So it's again a while ago. I think we're in 700s now. So this is on a paper from Tumble Shine. I think we're out, actually, let me just move it. I'm going to faff a little bit because I want this to be around the circle. It's very hard to see when you're not stood above it. So I've already got my excuses. It's going to go there. Where's one of my 97 million magnets? I need some more. They're sticking to everything. Honestly, June, I thought you put the discount code in. I don't know. Anyway, so what colour should we stamp? Let's just do this in black because then it's quite dramatic. Obviously my stamp is quite brown because I've used one of the browns with it. So this is Nocturne Versafine Claire. It's a good idea to have a really juicy ink pad, and all the ink pads, all the Versafine Clairs are in stock at the moment on my website. So give it a really good inking. Now the papers are kind of semi-coated, I'll call it. They take inks really well, and they actually help with your stamping. So I mean, I haven't used this stamp for ages because I haven't made many new samples. So it'd be interesting to see if this stamp's perfect first time, because the paper, it does let you get away with things a lot easier. Now the stamp's a little bit sticky because, like I say, I haven't used it for a while, so I'm just letting it release from the paper a bit so that it doesn't move. And there we go. It's actually a brownie black. I ought to have changed this, hadn't I? I like to use my bits and pieces to death. I don't like using new ones of things until I absolutely have to. But this is absolutely beautiful. So when I colour this in, I'm going to colour this in pink shades rather than the normal yellows and sort of pale oranges that we normally do on daisies. So I'm not doing any colouring in today. I'll do it afterwards. All we're doing is concentrating on stamping and showing you what you can do with the stamps and what sort of scenes you can actually create with them. Don't forget to, if you can, just share this away. I haven't shared it to the Fairy Hug Store group, so if any members of the Fairy Hug Store group want to share it in there, that would be absolutely wonderful. Now we're going to use Fifi. Fifi's rather wonderful. Fifi comes with a bubble wand. I don't know if you can see that. She comes with a bubble wand, and she also comes with a dandelion stem as well. And she can put that. You can put those in her hand. So let's stamp her first. Yeah, she's going to sit on the end. Now I'm going to lose a little bit of her design there. So what I've done is I've already cut her out as well, but I haven't cut out the wispy bits. So we are going to stamp her in black, and then I'm going to just lay my cutout one over the top. I was speed fussy cutting just before we started, so my fussy cutting isn't brilliant, but it'll do for the purposes of this demonstration. I'm not coping with the hot weather at all. This hot weather can go and do one. I can't wait till Tuesday when it rains. We're never happy, are we? I just prefer rain than sun, I think, or the heat. I don't mind sunshine, but I don't like the heat. Let's give Fifi a good old stamping. Maybe mainly the wispy bits I'm interested in. So you can see that if I hold that up, you can see that where she's touched the daisy, you've lost some of the definition of the wing, and I don't want that. So I've got my one that I've cut out earlier, and I can pop her on top like so. Actually pop her in the right place, wrap around a bit, and then you'll see that that's nice and complete. But we've got these wispy bits just here and here that I didn't cut out because I can't, it's just too difficult. The little areas in here that are white and just there, you can fill in with pens that are of a similar colour to the background, so I will do that when I get round to it. But let's give her one of the things that she can actually blow out, and I think she's being a bit mischievous, so rather than having dandelions, we're going to give her the bubble wand. I need to probably have my head in the way now, I want to make sure if the bubble wand isn't perfect, don't worry, because that's what your Pigma Micron pens are for. And it's a lot easier to do when your stamps are dirty because you can see where they're going. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on this because it's a tiny little stamp. Morning, Jennifer. tiny little stamp. That's always my danger. I always press too hard. So there you can see, oh, she's got the bubble wand in her hand. Okay. So don't forget, I'm going to put my cut-out version on top. I'm not going to glue anything down right now either, because I want to do all my colouring in of my daisies and such in the background, and then I'll add my Fifi on top, and I'll colour her in as well. She's not coloured in yet because I didn't know what colour background I was going to go on. So that's, we use daisies and Fifi. And we could use Leave Room in Your Garden for the Fairies to Dance, or we could have Wishing You a Fairy Lovely, Wishing You a Fairy Lovely Birthday to a Fairy Lovely Girl. So we could have that. So perhaps we'll have that. Where will we go? No, in fact, I think that's a little bit big, so we won't go for that. I might swap that over for something else. But that's on the show as well. I mean, you can also have, where you've got Pixie, Trixie and Dixie, you can also have Pixie, Trixie and Dixie kind of messing around and playing about. So you can play around with them. They will go on everything, Pixie, Trixie and Dixie. I think I've only got one left of each of those. But as I said before, I am going to be ordering this week. So as long as I can get stock from Fairy Hugs HQ, then I will restock. Is that going to be too close? I think I need to find another sentiment. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. So we'll go a bit off piece, and we'll use perhaps some of the fairy words that we had. Let's have, we'll have hugs. And we'll also bring the For You in here as well. These are from the fairy words. This is from the last release. So we've only used 2 stamps there and a sentiment, so and a background paper. Now, if you don't want to fork out for the background papers, you can absolutely create a whole series of background papers with the 4-inch round gel press or gel plate, and I do have those in stock on my website. You'll find those as well. I do tend at the moment to go for my tumble shine though, because the paper pad, because it's just quicker and easier, but I do like my 4-inch round gel plate. So all we do now is just matte and layer that onto a bit of black card, just like that. So really simple scene. As I said, I would definitely colour in the daisies, and then I'd pop my coloured in Olivia on top there. See if I can get her straight. So there's one. Okay, told you some of them are going to be simple, easy peasy. Now I have actually got some that samples from when I did the shows earlier. So on this one you can see that's a jelly plate background from the 4-inch round, and I've coloured the daisies in, and I've used the Sentimentally Yours watercolour blending brush pens as always, and it's got the bird nest in there and the sunrise sunset sentiment. Then a very similar colourway there. This is the again coloured in and gel plate background. You've got the dance sentiment that's on the show tomorrow, and that's Bryla. Again, Bryla's here again, but you can see that I've just changed the colour of the daisies to more orange tones, and we've got the I think that's called Stardust Magic, that sentiment, and we've got the little fox there and a couple of the bees. And then here I've used the daisies twice, so once on the right and then turn them upside down, and once on the left, and you've got some bees and you've got the bunny. Journal page here, again the daisies in kind of yellowy orangey tones. That's the morels, that mushrooms that Tara is perched on, and you've got the bunny there as well. And I think that's I think that's Stardust Magic. No, it's not Stardust Magic. That might just be magic, that sentiment. It's very hard to remember all the names and there's so many of them. Again, another journal page. We've got the seed pods on here, and that's on the show tomorrow. You've got the little deer sat on there, and again the bees and the Stardust Magic sentiment. So there's just a few of past projects. You'll find loads if you look at the actual thing on my website. The actual product on my website, you'll find loads going on in there. So where are we? No, we're not going there, are we? We're there. No, we're not there. Don't want to be there. Technology. I don't know what that's doing there. Right, okay, so let's do, this is one of my favourite styles of card, and I've done this quite a bit actually. And this is just like a strip card, so it's an A6 piece of the Sentimentally Yours watercolour card, and I'm using some of the Scotch low tack tape, and we're just going to create a border. I'm trying to create it by eye. I mean, you can have it go in angles as well. I have done one in the past with angles as well, but we want a nice size like that. And then we're going to grab one of the blending brushes. A few of these have all got the same colour on. Let's go for wherever that colour is. I think most of these have got saltwater taffy on it for some unknown reason. I must like that colour. So we'll just go for saltwater taffy again. So we're just going to put some, I don't know if it's straight, it's going to be straightish. Just going to put some saltwater taffy in that area there. So these are great mates just to have in your stash, or you know, if you just want to make a really quick card, great for giving to charity. And it's a proper card because it's just an A5 piece folded in half. Okay, so there's my saltwater taffy, and then we're going to grab, there's so many stamps that I haven't grabbed them all. Let's see, I think I want my seed pods. Oh, we could do a Halloween theme one. Oh, that would be good with the spider webs, wouldn't it? Seed pods, let's have that one. I'm just going to put this on a block. I haven't stamped this one for a while either. It was one of, so the thing is that there's so many now that your favourites get kind of abandoned for a little while. This. There we go. There's today's nudge of the camera. I always do it, don't I? So we're on that colour, but I think I am going to go, let's go brown for a change. So we're going for Acorn Versavine Claire. Let's just check that this is, because I've not used it for a while, let's just check. Directly onto a piece of card, and you can do with this with so many of the stamps. So in the last release I did it with Krista's mum, which is the chrysanthemum. Fingers. And I've done it with the top of the dandelion. You can do it with the poinsettias, you can do it with absolutely loads of them. Let's see if we can fill in that gap there. I need to make sure I don't smudge it because it's actually on the low tack tape as well. actually this acorn works very nicely with the saltwater taffy. I dip my fingers in there again. I'm having a finger dipping day today by the looks of it. This is where she's going to sit, I think. Let's have one there like that. And we can just about maybe get another one in at the end there so that it doesn't look like it's just stopped. Okay. I'm not sure what we can do to get the numbers up on the Fairy Hugs viewings. I don't have as many views on Fairy Hugs. We need to build the brand, people, so share and share alike. Please, please, please share your projects in the Fairy Hugs store group, because we know that there's loads and loads of people that buy them. So what are you doing with them? You must be making something. So share it. It's a kind group. So now when you take your bobbin, take your tape off, and you've got a lovely border to use. That's all pristine as long as you don't stick your fingers in it. I've got ink on my finger now. So we can obviously bring Fifi in here, we can bring Olivia in here, we can also bring the Pixie, Trixie and Dixie in here. You can bring loads and loads of different stamps in here. I am going to go for Fifi again because I'll be using Olivia in a moment. So we're going to go into our stamping platform. And let's see, let's get her in here. And let's, oh, there we go, camera again. Let's sit her down. I don't really want her to go off the page. We can sit her down on there maybe. Like that. And give her a stamp. In fact, we can do the sentiment at the same time. So what did I do with them sentiments? Oh, there we are. We can definitely get like this one in. This is the lovely girl sentiment. So we can definitely get that one in here. Let's check I've got it straight. I don't think I did the last sentiment very straight. Let's have this one straight for a change. And we're on acorn, aren't we? So we'll stick with acorn. Now I might need, because I'm now on watercolour card, I might need to stamp Fifi twice, because the watercolour card is super absorbent and it will just grab the burst fine clay. Probably be alright with the sentiment, but Fifi might need doing again. Oh, I've got to do the sentiment again as well. I think the heat dries out the ink. In fact, Fifi's better than the sentiment. The heat dries the ink out quicker. So you, even with Versafine Clay, you don't need, you haven't got as much time as you normally had. Okay, that's good. I think let's just give that press there. That's better. Okay, so let's grab these off. Tissue. Oh yeah, sleeping is quite difficult, isn't it? Because our houses aren't designed for to repel the heat, are they? So they just designed to keep the heat in, so night time. Waking up early, I can't be doing with waking up early. Right, so that's our sentiment. Put that back, lovely girl. That goes in there, like so. And this time we'll give Fifi the dandelion pieces to blow. And pop that in her hand. Ugh. There we go. Again, don't press too hard because it's quite difficult, you know, it's a little stamp. I did put brown there. I always get mixed up. There we go. So that's that one done. Obviously I'd colour in her wings as well, but you can see that's that one done. Really easy. I really like that style of card because it's quick, it's easy, and it's very effective, and you don't need many stamps to be able to do that. And obviously if you change the colour of your inks, you're going to be changing the look of it as well. So I do have a couple that I did. Where are they? There we go. So there's Fifi sitting on the dandelions and the Who You Are sentiment, and then another one with the seed pods. She's further along there, and that's the Stardust Magic sentiment. And obviously you just change the colours and they look entirely different. Oh, Jennifer, thank you. Jennifer kindly just said it's not going to be the same without you on the telly demonstration, Julia. That's very kind of you, but you know, had to make that decision to do it, so there you go. So let's do another card that's another simple one, and then we get a little bit more complicated after this one. So again, we've got an A6 piece of Sentimental Yours Super Smooth card, and this time what we're going to do is, you know, just make a border all the way around. So again, we've got the low tat tape, and we're going to just mask off. Obviously you can be a bit more frugal than I am. Just melting here. I hate it when you kind of just move, you just walk from one room to the other and you're already kind of dripping wet. It's just horrible, absolutely horrible. Nathan's even worse because his house is his room is on the back of the house, and he's got backhand side, so he has the sun on his bedroom from in the morning right the way through to the mid-afternoon. Right, so in the background again we're going to put some ink, and what colour are we going to do this time? That's the question. Let's go for another pink, if I've got the pink here. Might need to grab my new one. I want kitchen bingo, that's what I want. There'll be some crashing in a minute as things fall down. There's my old coils, so that's no good. Why is it always the one you want, the last one? Oh, it's the last put one. Take that back. God, that's made me hot. Right, so you want a bit of Kitsch Flamingo. I don't know where my big one is. So Kitsch Flamingo is quite a pale pink. So we just going to put down the base of that. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because it's very pale, but it's better than having it completely blank. I could have used saltwater taffy again. I don't want to make everything pink, not in this demo. I'm very impatient with this. I should get a set of sponges out really for the distress inks, because all my sponges, they've got oxide on, and you shouldn't mix the two on the same sponge unless you wash it in between. Okay, so now we've got a good amount of pink on there now. So that's a bit Kitsch Flamingo. Then we'll have the darker pink. And we'll have pink raspberry. And we want a stencil. There's 3 stencils on the show. We've got, this is, I can't remember what that one's called. I think it's Rocks or something like that. This one's woody. Obviously it's the woods, which has been really popular. And then we've got the floral vines, which is one of my favourite ones, or flower vines. So we're going to put a little bit of pink raspberry on the top, because then we've got a bit of contrast in the pinks. And obviously the design's only going where in the centre. Okay. Wash that off in a minute. Rid of those. That's Kitsch Flamingo and pink raspberry. So once again, when you take away your tape, you've got a masked off area. Like so you could just actually, that would be really nice as a card. It's not straight. As a card with a sentiment on, and that would work. That would be absolutely wonderful. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to stamp onto it, and we're going to, well, I've got to find my stamps again, haven't I? So I'm going to pop that up there. Again, this is going to just use a couple of stamps. Let's have that in the corner, and then I'll probably move them again in a minute. Where's my other ones? There's one. So I'm only using 4 magnets at the moment. Get me. Right, what we want now is, oh, there's actually loads that we could do, but I'm looking for the laughter sentiment, and I'm also looking for, where are they? Come on, you're hiding. Talk amongst yourselves. They must be here somewhere. I've just had them. I thought I used them. Where have they gone? There they are, the fairy couple. So we've got a boy fairy and a girl fairy, a fairy couple. Or it could be 2 of each, but one's got short hair and one's got long hair. But again, that could be 2 of the same sex, whichever. And we're going to have just them sitting so that the wings come off the edge. And then we're going to have a laughter sentiment. It says, laughter is timeless, imagination has no age, and dreams are forever. So we're really thinking about the dreams part of that sentiment there. So let's see if that's straight. Ish. So we stamp all that together. That's all we're doing. We're just doing 2 stamps. Really simple, not scary. Like sometimes seeing building can be scary, but you know, I used to think it was, but with fairy hugs it isn't really. Oh, 11. Sharon's saying it's only 11 degrees in Australia because it's winter. Oh, I so want 11 degrees at the moment. I can't wait for the autumn. Right. Probably need to stamp the fairy couple a second time. Because again, we're going on to that watercolour card, which likes to grab my ink off of me. I do need to clean my fairy couple actually though, they're in a bit of a state. So I would, like I say, I would colour in the wings. I always like to colour in the wings. You don't always have to kind of colour them in so that they're all different colours. You can just colour them in one colour. They look fabulous with glossy accents on, and also if you use some glitter or some of your Sakura Stardust pens or glaze pens, they look wonderful on there. She doesn't want to stamp properly. That'll do. Okay. It's just my stamps a little bit. She's been used a lot, an awful lot. Doesn't even stick properly. I can feel all the gunk that I've got on the back of it. But I'll just put it away and then forget about it. As you do, as you do. At least I put them away. I like to put them back in their actual thing. Right, so there we go. So there's number 3. Again, a little simple little A6 card, but I think it works. You know, you don't have to, I'd say, you don't have to be complicated. It's my fan going. But you know, I can show you some others that I've done in the past with this on as well. So they can sit together on, that's the bleeding hearts, and you can see that's the laughter sentiment again, and there's a jelly press background, so you can see that that particular card worked really well with the tumble shine paper pad. Then here you can have them sitting in the what's it called, the heart vine frame. So that's been masked off as well, so they're actually sitting inside of it with the fairy hugs sentiment. They are designed to work with the magical keyhole, or it was in that release. So you've got the wild roses in the background that's in the show tomorrow, the magical keyhole is in the show tomorrow, and also the mini castle as well, and then I've got the stone pathway coming down from it. Also, you'll find that the Path of Knowledge, which is on tomorrow's show, will also work very well coming down from the mini castle. So this one here, the fairy couple are closer to it, so I've actually masked them off and then stamped the magical keyhole over the top of them, so they look as if they're, you know, right in front of it. And then here, similar to the heart vine frame, they're actually within the magical keyhole itself as well. So you can see there's quite a few different things you can do, and as I said, on my website, if you look at the particular product, you will find quite a lot with samples from the design team as well that are using that. Make sure I pick the right bit again. Right, so let's go on to another one, and oh yes, so I'm wanting, I think I want Tangle Whisper. Three-quarters now to do 3 of the simple ones. Let's go for this one. So obviously this is Tangle Whisper in stock, and it's also on the show tomorrow because it's one of the set of 4 that there were. I think they're doing them in singles. Let me just trim off that little bit because it's a little bit where it's come off, it's got the glue. So it's even. I'll do the same off the other side. So there we go. Right, so on this one we're going to use your Pixie, Trixie and Dixie, of course. Can't do a demo without Pixie, Trixie and Dixie, and I'll show you loads of samples of Pixie, Trixie and Dixie. And there's just loads on the show. I want that one next, I think. Right. I want that one next. Then we want the dandelion as well. Now, Pixie, Trixie and Dixie have actually been on the TV 2 or 3 times actually already, and people just are still, because people are still discovering fairy hugs, so some people are still buying them, which is nice. It's good for me as the only UK stockist outside Create and Craft. I need another one. There's another one. Where is she? Lantern tree. Oh, I do want the lantern tree as well. Right. I don't want that one in a minute. And Ed's on the show. Little Ed. My cat. Julia's on the show as well, which is me. So I might not be there in person, but I will definitely be there in stamp form. Sorry about this. I should have created piles, but I'm kind of taking my just taking it as it goes and not finding the stamps I want. Where's she gone? There she is. They hide. They absolutely hide from me. They're so naughty. These stamps. I'm creating a pile for the next one. What's the next one? So Pixie, Trixie and Dixie, and I really want the dance sentiment as well, which has decided to do a runner. It doesn't help being hot. I might have to use that one. I can't find the dance one. The dance one is perfect for Pixie, Trixie and Dixie. I think I must have had it out and not put it away. Right, stop faffing, Julia. Put it to one side and let's grab this. There it is. Oh, for heaven's sake. It's driving me to distraction today, making me hotter. Right, so do I want to be out of the stamping? I think I want to be out at the stamping platform to begin with. Let's use this. So, yes, first of all, let's grab a circle template, which I've just dropped. There it is. To create kind of a bit of a moon, if you like. And I think I do want quite a large one. This is from, there's 2 pieces for this. This is from an old Sentimentally Yours set from donkeys years ago. And so you had the outie and the innie, and there were 2 shapes in each kit. And he almost got rid of them. And then I thought, no, I'll just keep that one. Very useful. Don't think you can get them anymore. Right, so we're on purple. So let's see if we can find Belena's potion. It is. Okay. So we're just going to create a bit of a halo around the edge. Distressing rather than oxide. I haven't fallen out in my oxides. I just don't like it when, because it's got the pigment in it, I don't like it when the stamps fall off of it and then they look a different colour. These stamped images, I don't like that. It's one of my little pet hates. Let's have a look. That'll do. Just a little bit moody. part of the paper, by the way. It's not me. I hope it isn't. I don't think it is. Right, okay, so let's do some stamping, and we're going to go off of the page, and we're going to use, because with Pixie Tricks in Dixie, I'll just show you, there's an awful lot that you can do. So with the stamps that are on the show tomorrow, you've got the seed pods, so they can be trailing around over them. All the stamps there are on the show, because you've got seed pods, Pixie Tricks in Dixie, the dance, and you've got the frilly branches at the top. Then this is actually a YouTube video that I've put up, and it's only, I don't know, 11 or 12 minutes long, so it's not actually very long. So you can find that on my channel, how to do that. It's a tumble shine paper pad, and then you've got the little fairies playing on the dandelion and the dance. So that is really easy. That's a really simple thing to do. Again, this is before the paper pads are out, exactly the same kind of thing, but you've got frilly branches there in the background and a jelly plate, so you just change the angle. Here again, they're on the seed pods, and Fifi's meant to be babysitting, but she's playing with her dandelion wand, and you've got a little flutter dust there in the background. Same kind of thing again. Here they are, different colourway on the to the orangey one, exactly the same thing, but we've got the flutter dust on there again. Here, this is the jester mushrooms, so they can be running around on that as well. They can be running around on the snowy fir tree as well. You know, so they can be darting around all over the place. And then Dixie there is balancing on the bridge as well, so they can be in all sorts of scenes. But instead of doing the dandelion like this, I'm going to do it a different way, so we'll see how it turns out. Might be rubbish, but we'll see. It did take me a while to grab all of those images. My iPad wouldn't update with them, so I had to airdrop them all singly from my my Mac, and then I had to search around for them because they were all saved in different places. But I think it's good to see, isn't it? So what we're going to do is the idea is that we're going to have the dandelions coming up and down here like that, like I did with the other things, but they're going to be dancing up and down the dandelion. That's the idea. So I think what we'll go for is we'll go for a purple, and so we go for Monarch, which is a nice deep purple. And we're just gonna, just as I always do when I'm not using a stamping platform, I'm just gonna test this on my piece of paper just to make sure that I've got the pressure right and the stamps actually functioning as beautifully as that. I mean, it is just such an absolutely wonderful stamp, and you've even got the kind of like 3 dots in the centre that you can see. I mean, they are absolutely beautiful. All fairy hug stamps. I know many of you that are watching have got fairy hug stamps, and they all are absolutely fantastic. Hi Jean. So let's do our row of dandelions. So let's start just slightly off, so it's not so contrived, so it looks more natural. Don't put my fingers in that. Let's go up a bit. So let's have one that goes down like so. And I'm just using one of the Sentimental Yours border blocks. So let's have another one that goes up like so. I think we might even go further up on the next one. Just so it looks a little bit different, so it's just not up, down, up, down, up, down. And then we'll definitely come down for the next one. I almost did this and sent it in as a sample, but I thought, no, I'll save it for a live. There are a few of my samples that I've sent in, but not many, because it's only an hour. And you want to see the demos rather than just see loads of samples, although the samples are always fabulous to look at. Don't forget, if you just joined us, do join the Fairy Hugs Store Facebook group. And if you share your makes in there, there's a chance you'll be asked to join the design team for a month. And also you get free stuff if that happens. And your cards might be shown on the telly. And we do love to see your makes anyway, and you'll see lots and lots of shares. I don't always get round to sharing everybody's onto my page, so that is the place to go to see them all. So there's our row of dandelions. That's quite effective, isn't it? Fabulous stamp. Yeah, Jean, and to anybody else that's just joined you, you'll find all the stamps. They're in stock now. Oh, let's get rid of that. On my website, and at the moment, if you put Hugs 10 in the discount code box at checkout, you get 10% off the items that are on Create and Craft tomorrow. I can do that because they're not new. I can't do it when stuff's new. Not allowed. We keep that purple out actually, and it applies till midnight Tuesday night, or while stocks last. I will be ordering again this week, but it just depends on whether there's any stock left of some items at Fairy Hugs HQ. So now we're going to have our little fairies running along the dandelions, because they do. That's what fairies do. So let's think. Let's have, we've got Dixie. She's Pixie. Let's think. Let's have Dixie up there. And we'll have Pixie. Fortunately, the names are all printed on the packaging, so you can actually see what they're all called. Don't worry about them having to touch. I tend to if I can, because they're fairies, they've got wings, so it really doesn't matter if they touch or not. And Trixie, I think she's the naughtiest of the three. She definitely is, and she's just about to take a flying leap down to that one. And I was saying when I did the other video that she's been in Fairy A&E so much. She really has. So I might not actually manage to get the dance sentiment on here, but we'll put a sentiment on. Obviously, if you wanted the dance sentiment on, let's see, it might not fit. Oh, I think I might just manage it. We'll have a look in a minute. I don't want it to be squashed. So again, I'm going to stick with the monarch. I'm going to stay with the same. Oh yeah, I was saying that, yeah, Trixie goes to Fairy A&E an awful lot, because she's always got something broken. Because she's always jumping off things. And she gets so excited that she forgets that she's got wings and forgets to flutter. So let's give them a good old stamp. Again, I've not stamped them for a while. I do, honestly, I would, if somebody said to me when I was doing the shows, what do you want on the shows? It's always Pixie, Trixie and Dixie. We were actually asked, the design team were asked, if we had some favourite stamps, what would we, you know, what would we have? And I think I must have said Pixie, Trixie and Dixie as one of them. So don't worry, I still am on the design team for Fairy Hugs. So you'll still see lives from me, obviously, because I'm a stockist. I will still do lots of videos, and I will still go to these because I absolutely love them. They are a joy, an absolute joy. They make me happy. They're a wonderful thing to use. So there's our little fairies. It should, instead of saying always leave room in your garden to dance, it should really say leave room in your garden for fairies to be mischievous. Because these little fairies are so naughty. And because they're quite tiny, they've got a really good price point on them. Don't forget that Fairy Hugs is an American company, so when you see the products on Create and Craft, they're only available for that day only, or if it's a one-day special, the 2 days. But I carry virtually the entire catalogue. So you can always get them from me. I can't always discount though, because when they're brand new I'm not allowed to, and also because I have to pay shipping costs. I can't always afford to, but I think the value is in the amount of times you're going to use them, and I think you'll just use them loads and loads, and they are very, very good quality. They really are. I think that I'm sure that you guys that have got them will say the quality is just excellent. So we can get the dance sentiment in there. Let's just check that I've got that straight. Let's leave each other alone, please. And I'm not going to put anything else on. So this is actually one bundle on the TV. So I don't know what their prices are like, or whether the stock's on there already, or whether it's reduced or not. I don't know what's going on with it. I did look the other day and there was only a couple of things on, so you guys will have to have a look. Squeak, squeak, squeak. There we go. There's our sentiment. So all that's done, all the stamping there is done in Monarch. And once again, oh, where's my piece of black card? So we cut one piece for all of these. I would add some colour to the fairies' wings. But there you go. There's number 4. 4 in just over an hour. Should we carry on and do the other 2? Those are good names. Jean is over on Facebook, and she's really cool. She's renamed the Pixie, Trixie and Dixie to Ickle, Pickle and Dickle. If they're being mischievous, I think they definitely would be called that, wouldn't they? Okay, so where are we going with my list? Okay, right. You all right to carry on? Yes? Hope so. Right, so let's do a scene. So we can either do one with a green background or the orange background. Well, it's a pale sort of yellowy orange background. Shall we do this one because it's less dark? Let's do this one. So for this one, the idea is that we're going to have Magoo the dragon. He's going to be here. God, that's broken. I'm going to have to seal that up. And we're going to have the lantern tree in the background, like so. And we're going to have the wishing well. Now, I really should have done a mask for this, but I haven't. So the wishing well is going to go there. So that's going to have to come off the page bit, I think, so we can get the wishing well in and Magoo. And then we're going to bring in Olivia, who's leaning against the wishing well, telling him a story. So I'm just reading one of the comments. Sorry, that was a bit rude of me. Right, okay, so that's the idea, and then we put some foliage and stuff on in there as well. So I've cut Olivia out because, again, just like the first one, we're losing a little bit of the nice parts of her wing if we do, if we just stamp her. So let's add a little bit of background colour. Let's put that back where it should be. So I want to grab a bit of Twisted Citron, I think, just to add a little bit of ground. So otherwise they'll be floating around. So this is just watercolour card that I've just torn, just to give us a little bit of ground. I don't want a lot of ground because this is journal sized. So this is 7 1/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So this will go in my journal. Oh, got dirty there. Let's clean that up. Why is it picking up purple? I don't want to do that. So if you've just joined us, throughout I've been sharing some samples as well from previous shows. So you can look back on there and you can pause it if you want to do this kind of screen save if you want to. I have got some more to share with you, with stamps that I won't necessarily get round to using today, but so I'll show you those at the end as well. There's a bit of grounding. I think that's all we do for that because I don't want to go very far up. Twisted Citron Distress. Let's get rid of that. Right, so let's go into our stamping platform. And I'm going to have to go off the edge because my glue's not going to fit properly, and we also want to make sure that, which is fine, it's fine, you can have a kind of inferred seam, you don't have to have the whole thing. So let's just put that there for a minute and make sure that we've got enough space. So we want to put our lantern tree, and there is a lantern set that is designed to come out of the lantern tree, and I did do a video this week with that on. Don't think I saved the photo in here of that. No, I didn't. And you can also have the mini fairy nests coming down from that as well. So Maggie's going to be sat here, and then that's going to go there. That's plenty of room. Right, so let's get Maggie on. Maggie's a gentle giant. He's a really lovely dragon. And then we've got our lantern tree, which you can use as kind of foliage as well. So there's quite a few things that you can do with the lantern tree. Obviously I'm just using it as is. Off of the page. Like so. Just hope that these don't all move. Where's my other magnets? That's another one. Right. I have used Maggie recently, so that should be fine. I did share a video again with him in earlier this week as well. So I've done 3 videos this week with fairy hugs that you can find. So I'm thinking that we will go with acorn for the tree. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the tree first because everything's drying out quite quickly, and then I'll take that off and then I'll do Mago on his own. But at least I've got the positioning of where I want them, unless my card is, of course. Where's my bit of scrap? Absolutely, it's just an absolutely beautiful stamp. Really lovely. Look at it. Obviously I'll colour that in with my watercolour blending brush pens. Add a bit of light brown to it probably. I don't do complicated colouring in because I never seem to have time. But the watercolour blending brush pens are just perfect. And they will go on the paper pads as well. So that's our lantern tree. Let's put that away before, otherwise I'll spend 3 hours tidying up. In there. And then we're going to stamp Mago. So we can put, the magnets are going to go there like that. Mago's going to go in there like that, and he's going to be in black. You could do him in dark green. You can do all sorts of things. There's Bonnie goes over the top with her pencils, which is quite a good thing to do as well, and that does work really well on top of the watercolour do make sure your ink is dry though before you do that, so stamp it the day before or 2 days before you're going to do that. That's all right, June, don't worry, you know it's there forever, so that's fine on YouTube. What's going on here? June's having to duck out. I just thought it'd be nice, because I've got 6 ideas in my head, I thought it'd be nice to actually do them, because it's quite difficult finding the time to do it during the week sometimes. I'm going to just give him another go, because he's a good silhouette stamp, so we want him to make sure that he's good. I think just a bit on his tail there. Yeah, good. So that's him. So he looks fine going off the page. It doesn't have to be all on the page. I think we forget. He looks fabulous on a tag as well. I'll just show you Maggie on a tag. He looks just wonderful on a tag. That's a Studio Light die, which unfortunately I can't get anymore because they're they don't tend to rerun them at Studio Light. And there's another one here of him sat next to the open book, and another one here. He doesn't breathe fire, he breathes moon dust. And then I've got Olivia propped up against the Tree of Knowledge, and we've got the dragon fruit branch over the top. All of these stamps are available on my website, so it's juliawattscrafts.co.uk with a 10% discount on the stamps that are on the show only. So if you go into the As Seen on TV section, then you can find out which stamps have the discount. Obviously you can put stamps that aren't in the show in the same order, and it will just discount the ones that are in the show. There you go. Right, so this is where we're at so far. So now we're going to put in the wishing well. And the wishing well is going to go underneath the lantern tree. The wishing well is quite an old stamp. It's number 81. I thought it was older than that actually, but I mean, Fairy Hugs have only been going for it's 2 years in September, and their first show was 2 years in October, and the craft store as was. So they really haven't been around for ages. So what colour should we do the wishing well? That's the question. Let's do the wishing well. We'll do it in black because we want it to be in the foreground. It's an important piece. And Bonnie did actually share to the Fairy Hug store an absolutely wonderful sample with the wishing well, and it does come with a pail as well. And Art Angel's done a wonderful sample where Lantana is actually popping some water down the well. The well must have dried up or something, and Lantana decided that it needed topping up. That's all right, Ronnie, don't worry, that's fine. Ronnie's popping off on Facebook. I'm not sure how many people are watching on Facebook. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's about the same number on Facebook as there is on YouTube. I will get round to colouring all of them in. I won't necessarily manage it today because I've got to pack orders, because our sorting office shuts at 12 noon on a Monday, so I have to spend Sunday packing orders, which is very annoying. Not that I have to work on a Sunday, because I always work on a Sunday anyway, but it's quite a rush. And then during the week, except for Thursday, which is 6, it's at 4 o'clock, so again that's quite hard to get there in time. There's a wishing well. Just go again so that it's nice and dark. So I've not used this stamp for a very long time. They will last you for a very long time. I mean, I don't clean my stamps. I don't particularly look after them. I don't store them in the sun though. They are stored in boxes away from the sun. But they will last you a long time. My stamps are, some of my stamps are nearly 2 years old now, including this one. Okay, so there's that. I've got there's a little bit of the lantern tree going on in the background, but once I've coloured in that roof, you won't see that. So that nestles in really nicely. I'm quite happy with that. That works. We're going to bring, I'm not going to stamp Olivia because I've already got her stamped and cut out. Wishing well goes back in there, like so. But what we could do is, because we know that we've got, falling down everywhere. We know we've got Olivia who's going to sit there, and she's reading. This is the Fairy Kingdom manual that she's reading, and she's saying, she's pointing, I don't know if you can see, let me hold that up, she's pointing to her book, and she's saying to Mago, it says here that dragons have to wash up at weekends. That's what she's telling him, and Mago's just so laid back saying, chill, I'll do it when I'm ready, but it says here weekends you have to wash up. What rubbish am I spouting? Right, so to finish this off, we need a sentiment of some sort. So I'm going to go for a small one. So I'm just going to go for, we could just go for smile, maybe. Should we put smile in there? Because Maggie needs to smile. Let's have smile. This is from the Fairy Words. It's not on tomorrow's show, but you'll find it on my website. We almost need a fairy with a camera so she can take a picture of him. Anyway, smile. Smile, Magoo. Smile. Thinking, I'm not smiling. I don't want to do the washing up. Get a dishwasher. Fairy should have dishwashers. But it should be like, which is, it's not Sleeping Beauty, is it? What's the one with the Snow White? It should be like Snow White, where she can do all the magic and tidy up and whatever. So what we could do at the top is, because it's nice to have some foliage, and we could bring in the fairy branches and have some of that. But let's see if we can actually use the lantern tree, which I'll put away down here somewhere. There we go. Let's see if we can use the lantern tree for some extra foliage like that. So let's fetch this out here. Remember, we're going to use Olivia in a minute, and this will go in my journal. Have I got a big enough block? I have got an A5 block somewhere. There it is. That's good, I found it. I threw an ink pad on the floor, but the lid's on very right. It's a big of a beast of a stamp. Now I'm hoping I'll be alright stamping it, because I've just used it. And I reckon that we should be able to get it like that, just for a bit of foliage. So I need my acorn. stand up so I can see where I'm going. So, squeak, 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 squeak. Yeah. So there we've got the acorn, lantern tree at the top as well. So with Olivia down there, that's our number 5. So we just do our last one, shall we? Because it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? So what else have I got with Olivia? Let's just show you. Oh yeah, I'll show you those in a minute. Olivia's here. She's sitting on the top of the path of knowledge, which is on the show. And where have we got? Well, I'll show you some with Ed because I'm not going to be using these. We've also got Halloween. There's a Halloween bundle on there, and this is Ursula and Lucinda that are there, and the spiders and the webs are on the show. And there's the spooky moons. I don't think the spooky moons are, but again you can find those on my website. We've got there's Julia the fairy, and the balloons are on the show as well. And there's Julia again. Those are the cupcake flowers, which I do have on my website. And then we've got Ed and Julia. That's the fairy flower that she stood on. And Ed again, playing with the fairy nests which are hanging from the dragon fruit tree. And there he is again, because here he's on a toadstool and here he isn't. And here he's grabbing a balloon, one of the balloon sentiments. Again, that's not on the show, but Ed is. So there's a few more ideas. Now we need to go to the back. I think we're going to go back to the Tumble Shine paper pad. And I've got to grab my stamps that I'm going to be using. So we're going to use the poinsettias, which, like I say, unfortunately I'm out of stock at the moment. But just click on the email when available button and you'll be notified as soon as they're back in stock. We have that Fairy Christmas. So I haven't used it. There's so many stamps on this show tomorrow. I think there's over 40, especially with the stencils and things, for an hour show, which is quite a lot actually. What else do I need? I need Jada. Don't need our fairy nests. Jada. I think that's all we need. That's quite quick for me, that. Right, so we want a Tumble Shine. Think about which one I want to have. I might go for the blue one actually, or that one. Yeah, let's go for this one. Don't know if it's the right one to use, but that's what we're going for. I think, or that one. Oh, decisions. I like all these kind of splotchy ones. They're my favourites. Or that one. Let's go for this one. Change my mind. Because I can. Change my mind. Let's have this one. Use that one another day. So they're all 216 GSM, double-sided. Wonderful things to start with. Oh, I know I need it. There's another one I need. Where is it? Sorry. So I had another idea in my head and we nearly didn't use that idea that was in my head. Did I put it there? Where is it? There it is. That's why I didn't grab it. Fairy Library. We need this one first. Now this was, I was inspired by a sample that Bonnie did, and yeah, I was inspired by a sample that Bonnie did, for Halloween style sample, so I thought we'd do one for Christmas in the same kind of vein. So what we're going to do is we're going to, because you can use things like the fairy fireplace, like rooftops, so we're going to use the fairy library just as like rooftops. That's the idea anyway. Whether it will come to fruition and look decent or not, I don't know, but we'll see. So the idea is we're going to have the fairy library, we will have the leaping reindeer as well. So we need to make sure we don't have the rooftops going too high. So I think that'll be all right. So we're mixing collections and it does work. You can also do it, there's also a couple of the design team have done it so that they've masked off the bottom area and got Magoo the dragon just sitting on the book, so there's no house. So there's lots of different things that you can do playing with your stamps, and just I tend to just use them as is to begin with, and I don't do complicated things with them. And then as you get to know your stamps, and I say this all the time, then you realise the potential of them. And once you know the potential of them, then you can do all sorts of things, and they are more value for money once you start playing with sections of them and masking off and stuff. So this was from the book collection. I absolutely adore the book collection. And I have some samples I can show you of that I've uploaded as well. Yes, it's called Tumble Shine, Pam, and you can either get it from Crate and Craft Tomorrow, or you can find it on my website. And it's one of the items that has 10% discount on it. So if you go in, when you check out, where you go to pay, you enter Hugs10 in the discount code box at checkout, and you'll get 10% off. And you just need to go into the As Seen on TV section to find that, and all the information, if you forget the code, is in that section. But it's kind of semi-coated, which means that when you come to stamp, it's very forgiving. It's just make sure it doesn't move. Stop sticking. So I'm going to keep that like that because I'm not 100% sure that that's actually not moved, and I can always chop it off if I want to. So we're going to do that trick where, because I want to stamp it more than once, we're going to take our acetate and we're going to grab the stamp, pop it on the acetate, and figure out where we want to have it next. So I think we want to have it down like that. Off the page. And then you pick it up, take off your acetate, and your paper's not, your card that you're working on is nice and clean still. This is why all my papers and the press to impress get so dirty, because I'm always stamping off the page. I have got some of these in stock if you need some of these for your press to impress. It's very, very useful. Obviously you can just put a piece of paper in there if you want to, but this fits perfectly with the cutout area just down here as well. Thanks Jennifer for sharing that. Jennifer's just shared the link for me. Okay, so now we've got that going on down there, and I think we'll just see if we can get a little bit just up there as well. So we're just going to put the acetate on, grab our stamp, and see if we can get a bit of the chimney. Is that straight? That's very wonky. So pick it up, take off the acetate, and we can put a magnet. I want that magnet there though. Let's put a magnet down there. Okay. And a bit like a row of houses that you've got down below. Emma, if you want to buy Magoo, he'll be in a bundle tomorrow on Create and Craft, but you can buy him today from me on his own. Just enter that Hugs10 discount code in the discount code box at checkout, and you get your 10% off. Because if you leave it, I might not have stock until later in the week if I can still get stock. Because I'm obviously, if the shows are really busy and if Fairy Hugs HQ run out of stock, then I won't be able to have any for a few weeks until they've got it back again. So that's our fairy library, and that's our row of houses at the bottom. That's that, and then we're going to have our leaping reindeer. Sort these ranks out, we're going to have them. So our leaping reindeer is going to be, and I quite like the fact that we've got that moon going on there. So it's just perfect, just perfect. So we're going to have that reindeer going up there, like so, I think. And let's do him in the brown because, you know, he's a reindeer, he doesn't have to be black. So we do him in the acorn, which is definitely my favourite brown of the Versafine Clairs. The pine cone and the fallen leaves are much darker. Now I haven't stamped him for a very long time, nearly 12 months, and look how perfect he's stamped. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So we don't need to do him again. Sometimes, occasionally, not very often, you might find that even with Versafine Clair that your ink pools on your stamps and you don't get a very good image. That will be because there's a little bit of manufacturing residue left. So you just clean your stamp, re-ink it, and you'll be good. It's only, you know, with your initial stamping that you get that. So there's your leaping reindeer. Then we've got a fairy called Jada. And Jada was actually intended to what was she intended to do? Spit it out, Julia. She was intended to sit on the sleigh. So you can see the rooftops there are from the top of the stone fireplace, which I do have in stock on my website, and the sleigh as well. I've got that in stock. So I've got the reindeer, and I've just drawn with a ruler some lines to the sleigh, and Jada's sat on there like that. So we are actually going to put Jada on the leaping reindeer in a minute, and you can see there that's exactly what I'm going to do, but he's at a more of an angle here, and again I've got the stone fireplace down below, and some of the I think they're called fancy birds there. So that's Jada, but I mean Jada can also actually, let's go off at a tangent if I've got it. Jada can also sit on a toadstool. So here we've got the fairy library that I've just used at the bottom with the path of knowledge going up to it, and then I've put Jada sat on a toadstool. So you can, you know, like a lot of the fairies that are sitting, you can actually perch her on a lot of different things. She can sit on the edge of the pine cone house. She can sit all over the place. So I've actually stamped her out and cut her out again, because if I stamp her just on top, then you'll find that you haven't got her stripy legs. So I've got her there that I've cut out. If you want, I've cut off the wispy bits. She's got wispy bits on her wings. I've cut those off, but if you want those, you can stamp it and then glue this on top of where you've stamped. You can absolutely do that. So you can see that she's going to go on there like that. And I could, do I want to frame it? I don't know if I do actually. Let's get a sentiment on there first, and then let's just check that we know what we're doing. So we've got the Fairy Christmas stamp, which just says "Have a Fairy Christmas." I believe this is on the shirt as well. So we can have that. Let's have it down there. Let's check it's straight. I think it's straight-ish. I have to stand up and have a look. Yep, looks straight, I think. We'll stamp that in black. We've nearly finished. Don't forget, everything needs to be coloured in, which is going to take me a while because, you know, 6 projects. It'll take me a while to colour in. So this is going to be in black. It within an inch of its life. It's a testament to the stamps that when you stamp them you don't get edges or anything. They are very, very well made. Merry Christmas. Did you order the fairies? I don't remember sending you a fireplace, Jean. Oh no, you're right. No, I do remember sending somebody a fireplace. Honestly, I've been so busy this last week. I'm so appreciative. It does mean a lot that people are still buying from me. Right, so that's going in there. We could finish it off a little bit, so we ought to really, haven't we? So let's take this out of here, just because we can. Doesn't that look fantastic? It's Bonnie's idea, not my idea. But that's the thing, you see. You join these groups. If you join the group, you will see lots of ideas, and you can actually think, oh yeah, I can use that. I can use it this way. So I'm going to use something I haven't got in stock because it sold out yesterday. This is a poinsettia, so you can obviously get it from Create and Craft tomorrow, or you can wait for me to get it back in stock. So just click on the email when available button on the product page on my website, and you'll be notified as soon as I have it. As long as there's stock at Fairy Hugs HQ, then I will get some. So I thought what we could do is just have a few poinsettias just to frame it at the top, which is a weird place to put poinsettias, but you know, we can do that. And I think we'll stick with the black. This is a really nice stamp actually. Let me just show you in its entirety, in case you haven't seen it. Let's see if I can find her. Let's go on the back of this. It has crosshatch detail in it, which is similar to the rose actually. There's a rose that's the same. So what it means is, because it's got the shading in there already, ignore the fact that I've not stamped that very well, and remember it's a watercolour card, because you've got the shading in there, you only need to colour in with a red pen or a pink pen or an orange pen, whatever colour you want, and the shading's there for you already. It is a really, really lovely stamp. One of the most popular stamps of the, well, it is the most popular stamps of the Christmas release last year. So we're going to stamp some of these at the top. It's alright, it's just the bottom of the circle. I thought, oh, I've got a dirty mark in there. It's the bottom of the circle. So we're just going to stamp some of these around the top. And on Bonnie's sample, she's got the lantern set hanging from the poinsettia, which is quite a nice thing to do. So let's just have... Remember, we're on this wonderful paper, so it's going to make my stamping a lot better. Just to frame it. it. I just need to squeeze a little bit in just off the edge, just so that it doesn't look rubbish. I'll put another one just there like so. So we could have, oh, let's do this. Might as well, you know, we're at 1 hour 40. We might as well just go for it, just for the sake of a minute or two. My poinsettia away. Love this stamp. Makes a fantastic, just basic Christmas card. So there's no, I've not done any shading with colouring that in. I've just used one of the red watercolour pens. The With Love at Christmas is also one of Fairy Hook sentiments, and that's, I do have that in stock on my website. You can also use the poinsettia just to frame. Ignore the fact that they're different colours, dirty stamp and all that. But yeah, just to frame a sentiment, and they're just both A6 cards. So really easy to do, and yeah. So let's just because we can, we could just put a couple of little fairy nests going on there. Don't have to, but we can, so we will. Let's put that up in the corner. That's the beauty of having so many Fairy Hook stamps. I can think, oh, what can I put there? I don't know, I'll put that there. So there's obviously 2 different sizes. I think we'll go for right by his nose. I'll go for that one there. Is it too close to him, do you think? Well, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Not the camera again, of course. I do like the mini fairy nests. I think these are on tomorrow's show. I'm now getting quite confused. That's the thing, you see. He's seen the fairy nests, and he knows that there's fairies in there. So he wants to go and see. He wants to go and visit them. And Jada wants him to go somewhere else. She wants him to go into the forest. But he wants to go and see what's happening with the fairy nests. So let's have this bigger one coming from there, like that. Where's my rag? There it is. Don't worry if it doesn't line up properly, because you can just use a Pigment Ricon pen to extend it. But there we are. I think that's all my stamping done. So sorry it's not all coloured in, but I'm sure you can see where we're going with all this. So once you put that onto a bit of black card, after that, there's the black card, and it's coloured in, I think that makes rather a nice modern looking Christmas card. Bringing Jada in and there like that. Let's move that down so you can see. Okay. Obviously everything will be coloured in. It's rather lovely, isn't it? So we've done an awful lot here. Obviously not everything's coloured in. So we've got Pixie, Trixie and Dixie. We've got the fairy couple here. We've got Fifi. Again, we've got Fifi on the whatchamacallit, the daisies, and we've also got Magoo listening to Olivia as well. So quite a lot going on. I have got a few more samples just to show you. So that's Lantana there, dropping or meeting the fireflies. Again, another one with Lantana with the fairy lantern. Another one with the fairy lantern. What else haven't I shown you? This is Solara, and that's just to show you the fairy lanterns can just be hung from the top of your card, and we've got some of the hanging vines in there which are on tomorrow's show. The fairy library with the book flowers and a cherry blossom branch and the fairy dictionary in the background, and we have got between the pages on the shows tomorrow. There's the fairy library with the path of knowledge. Again, we've got the book flowers in the background. We've got from the chimney, there's the butterflies coming out. You could also have the bats coming out of the chimney, the flying bats. So if you're doing a Halloween scene similar to the one that Bonnie's done, when you see that on the Fairy Hug Store Facebook group, then you could use the bats coming out of the ceiling. Again, a tag, again with the butterflies coming out. They're brilliant for tags, which are great for bookmarks. This is Kira sitting in the fairy hammock, and I've used the top of the tree of knowledge as like hills. We've seen Magoo. Let's see if there's any more I need to show you. And I think that's everything that I've uploaded to show you. So I hope that you've enjoyed that. I hope it's been useful. The lotus type pod that's on the green scrap. Yes, it's the seed pods stamp set. That's the one that's on the top. Seed pods. This one. That's the seed pods. Any more questions that I've missed? That's all right, Judy. On YouTube, it's fine if you're late. You will see this. This is available for you to watch at any time you want to on YouTube. It's permanently there, and it would be wonderful if you're not a subscriber, if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me some likes and comments. That would be absolutely fantastic. And if you have any friends that you think might be interested in watching some of the videos, yeah, ask them to subscribe as well. There are loads and loads of videos on my YouTube channel for you to watch that have got fairy hug stamps in them. I absolutely adore them. They are just joyful to use. And just a reminder that on my website there's in the As Seen on TV section, there's 10% off those products that are on Create and Craft tomorrow, but shh, don't tell anybody. Yes, so they're all existing designs, so they're in stock for immediate dispatch to the UK. Anything that's out of stock, just click on the email when available button. As soon as I get some, then you'll be notified. And just thank you for watching. And there won't be a live demo next Sunday morning because I'm not around next week, but I will try and record a demo for you, and I will upload it for Sunday morning. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, and do enjoy your